Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Monday, August 2nd, 6:31 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. You are the Peaceful Revolution, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. All right, BitcoinDailyView.com, got more for you there. Link to all this stuff there. Will Clemente, cool tweet. Exchange supply shock ratio compares supply on exchanges relative to overall circulating supply. I imagine Formula One is the illiquid supply, and basically it's cranking up. So we are seeing a liquidity crisis, I think. Now, not for retail traders, but for the massive OTC market, basically. So the whales who've been keeping Bitcoin between 30 and 40K, I wonder if we're starting to see Bitcoin being released from that range to crank to make the massive all-time highs the rest of this year, because basically once the whales can't buy the OTC market like they'd like to, well then what else is there to do other than let Bitcoin go? Because there ain't going to be no more Bitcoin made past 21 million, and you're really not going to mine it any faster than it's being mined. Although I got something about that, so let's just keep on going. Um, Once again from Will Clemente, this current wave of BTC supply shock has a lot of momentum. Another chart, linked it over at BitcoinDailyView.com if you want to check it out in more detail. Um, Pomp, who always has an opinion, says the illiquid supply of Bitcoin just hit an all-time high. Another chart from Glassnode. Um, and then also, here we go. A guy named Butcher, he made this. He noticed this. This is an Ethereum versus Tether, well, Ethereum Tether chart. Um, it's a 1 week chart, and he found this massive cup and handle that he believed could be playing out. And well, Ethereum has been really strong, especially starting yesterday. So we'll look at that in a little bit more detail. But linked it over at BitcoinDailyView.com. Check it out. This is a cool tweet, and I think his cup and handle might be correct. And if it is, that's a $19,656 Ethereum pretty darn soon. Interesting, huh? With that, okay, let's keep going. Now, when it comes to the whales wanting to make those massive OTC buys, here's something interesting. Um, a tweet from Dylan Leclerc, the world's third largest company, Saudi Aramco, or Aramco, according to reports, is apparently considering joining the cryptocurrency ecosystem by mining Bitcoin. Well, I checked this out. I clicked on his link, and yes, it is a story over here at Finbold. It does seem to be fairly substantiated. Um, and of course, I had to find out what is Saudi Aramco, and it's an oil company. I kind of figured, what if the energy sector, like the third largest oil company in the world, or a third largest company, I do believe is what it was saying, um, they can fart out billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar crypto farms like nothing, right? They're already used to mining, drilling for oil. I think it would make a lot of sense that as this the energy sector, well, it goes, okay, oil kind of drying up, but let's just say the world is changing. Maybe there'll be less of a demand for oil. Well, let's just start mining Bitcoin. And then also this whole liquidity crisis that I think is being experienced really by the whales who want to buy OTC. Well, then we can get the Bitcoin that they would like, right? So that they can, basically buy up the entire market. I'm not saying that from a negative perspective, but I mean, because retail traders are also. So, what do you think? Are we heading towards a liquidity crisis, if nothing else, for whales? And that's why we're kind of beginning to break out of this 30 to 40K range? Let's take a look. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours, 4.4 billion. It was 3 billion yesterday, and I think 3 billion is what it takes for the market to basically run. So we're a little bit ticked up today. Cool, 4.4 billion. Not bad. That's almost 4.5 billion. Most of that is on Binance. Nice to see Coinbase showing up at 676 million. Anything else that's interesting here? I like seeing Bittrex that's showing up. 23 million. I like that. It's just cool. Good exchange if you're in America. Not a bad backup because Binance keeps getting attacked by the globalists. Anyway, Binance, where all that beautiful volume is, 17 billion in the last 24 hours. Let's see, thousands. Yeah, sorry, 17 billion, up 29% last 24 hours. Still, really a good day for spot trading volume is like 30 billion plus, and we're just not seeing it. So pretty much, it's still pretty low volume, but it's Monday and it's picking up quick. Looking at derivatives, futures basically on Binance. Hey, you get above like 70. Well, basically, you know what? If you're above 60, especially if you're really rocking if you're in the 70s, but we're above 60. So I would say, futures volume is pretty darn good on Binance. right now. So that's all pairs basically. So up 29% last 24 hours, 66 billion. That is a good spot to be. So spot terrible volume futures pretty darn rocking. All right, looking at the crypto market in green squares today, Bitcoin is at 39,458. I think its dump has maybe been leveled off. What is really nice to see is Ethereum has not taken the hit that a lot of the alt market has. We'll look at this in more detail, but market beginning to click green this morning. This is Coin360 looking at the last hour because we're kind of seeing a recovery. So I wanted to see that more than the last 24 hours. So it's nice to see Doge up 1%, XRP up like 2% plus, etc. ETH, we'll take a look at that in a second, but XRP 75 cents. Interesting. All right, so Bitcoin on a daily chart. As you can see, this here is the 50 moving average on the bottom and the 100 on the top. And if you look at this, basically, of course, we recently rode this channel past the 50 moving average, and of course, we got above the 100 moving average, but this morning we are below it. So let's see if we can get back above that in this channel. Bitcoin definitely taking a bit of a hit today, but of course, the directional index is still in the green, and the ADX as well. It's not too bad. Anyway, squeeze indicator shows upwards momentum. Anyway, daily chart, we'll see. I'd like to see Bitcoin get strong this morning and get back above this 100 moving average. It would make it's a big deal. Let's see if we can do it, Bitcoin. Come on. Looking at the daily chart once again, the top white line here is the 200 moving average. The bottom is the 314. Of course, we're above the 314. Have not quite challenged that 200 moving average yet, and we've broken below that slight upwards channel that we had going on. RSI, well, ticking down into the middle zone there, the buy zone as I call it. The one thing is the daily MACD, even though it's still crossed positive, it has begun to tilt downwards. So red is the signal, blue is the MACD, and MACD is now trending downwards. So we're seeing that histogram close a bit. Let's see how this turns out. It's not surprising because Bitcoin took a bit of a hit over the weekend. Now, let's keep on going. Here's what I'm noticing when it comes to Bitcoin's price action, the immediate price action. Of course, we have been riding up this beautiful, like I think it was basically about 12 days. We've been riding up this nice upwards channel on the 45-minute chart, and reaching the top of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range, bottom of the range, mid-range, the heartbeat of it. So really, this channel has been very strong. But of course, over the weekend, or Sunday, we broke out of this. But where do we break to? The white line here is the 314. The white line here is the 200 moving average, and the bottom line is the 314 moving average. So if we range between the 200 and the 314 on the 45-minute chart for a little while, that's fine. I'd love to see us get back in this channel. The nice thing is we didn't. The Bitcoin is it tried to kind of hold this 200 moving average, but it hasn't. Let's see. I would like to think worst case is we see a 314 moving average at around 39,500. That would be a respectable bounce area too. So anyhow, here we are, and we could for fun. Let's just do this. I'm going to let me get rid of the channel here so we can see a little bit more clearly. I'm going to let's fire up. Sorry to keep you waiting. I like to do all these things beforehand, but I just thought of it. Instead of fib retracement, right from the bottom where we started pumping to the high, and let's evaluate where are we at here. Okay, well, we're kind of finding support here on the 236 fib line. That's not a bad thing, really. That's not bad. We can live with that. Let's see if we can hold that 236 fib line. Of course, we have the 314 moving average right around 38. Sorry if 45-minute chart. Sorry if I said that's this number wrong before. The 314 moving average, if we dumped that, is around 38,400, 38,500, or somewhere in there. That'd be a respectable place to bounce. But below the 314, you've got the 382 fib line right around 37,655. Not bad at all. Dot 5 fib line is 36,122, and a 618, which would be a dreadful thing to see happen. But if we bounce there, that's 34,589. So if you think about it, all these possibilities here are, compared to where we were a couple weeks ago, not too bad. So anyway, 236 fib line at a 39,553. We'll see if we hold that. 314 moving average, another spot we could bounce. 38,400, 38,300, somewhere in there. 38,300, 38,500, somewhere in there. That'd be a nice bounce. The 382 fib lines, 37,655. A .5 would be a great place to bounce at 36,122. So watch these levels. We'll see how it goes. Really, Bitcoin could just pump right now. I mean, it's this is extreme, interesting volatility that we're seeing. I really can't tell you what caused this dump. But what is nice is that we are seeing legit a bit of a spike compared to recently in a retail trading volume. That's what this what blockchain trade volume does show. I'm sorry, Bitcoin trade volume does show. It's showing uh, retail trading volume. So I wonder if that like extra billion that we're seeing of trading volume since compared to yesterday, I wonder if that's people buying this dip. Very well could be retail buyers. All right. So Ethereum versus USDT, it's an okay chart, not that really impressive. But what I do see that I like right now is Ethereum versus BTC. This is glorious. Through this dump, it has actually stayed profitable, and the indicators are honestly pretty darn strong. So Ethereum versus BTC, wow, my dream swing trade is actually happening. All right, looking at XRP versus USDT, when we had the market dump on Bitcoin, it did get to the 200 moving average, made a bounce after it wicked under it. Now it's moving up. Now it's kind of volatile. Anyway, interesting. What is with XRP? Supposedly the SEC is after it. Well, I wonder, could it be that it's so strong and staying above the 200 moving average and actually staying strong even through this Bitcoin, dump correction, whatever? Um, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. But really, could it be that the insiders already know the SEC lawsuit's going to get tossed out? We're kind of seeing that in the news that maybe it's going to be settled. I think. Anyway, it would not surprise me if the insiders who know what's up are loading up on XRP. I mean, I don't see why the price action has continued to rise because I mean, like the SEC foot has not necessarily gone away, but something's happening. So I'm wondering, could XRP be a real versus USDT or Bitcoin? Could that be a play? I mean, wow, who wouldn't like to have the insider knowledge on that? I guess insider trading is technically illegal, but just saying I don't know anything, but about like I don't have any insider trading, but just looking at the news starting to lighten up and possibilities of that SEC lawsuit being settled, the price action does kind of reflect that there's optimism, and that price action also does to me possibly just if I was to intuit represent maybe the some big money already knows how it's going to play out because that price is I don't quite get why it would be doing so well if there really was still FUD in the market, and that kind of upwards momentum that we're seeing here after XRP dumped, that does kind of seem like well, a heck of a lot of retail traders or some whale action if you ask me. So what do you think? Are insiders buying XRP right now because they know the SEC lawsuit's going to get tossed out, or they just really think it is? Is this like whale or retail or a mix of both that's pumping that price? Anyway, XRP is strong right now, so amen. Doge versus USDT. Let's take a look at that. Doge, how you doing? Okay, it broke above the 200 moving average over the weekend, but it got crushed with Bitcoin dumping, and the indicators are crappy. All right, Doge, you gotta get your act together. So many people believe in you. SHIB versus USDT. Well, been riding the 200 moving average pretty hard. It didn't really react well to the dump over the weekend, so kind of out of the game. XRP and SHIB and Doge, they're just not being good dogs this morning. Anything else that might be interesting? ADA. Let's look at Cardano real quick here. ADA, USDT. Yep, it bounced off the 200 moving average, bounced off it again. It's staying above, been staying above. Indicators are looking like a turn up is very possible. ADA versus USDT. Yep. I think if Bitcoin continues to move up or go sideways, ADA versus USDT is probably going to be a strong trade. Things are happening there. Hey, thanks everybody who's buying the cool shirts. It makes a difference. I love making a couple dollars doing this, and I plan to keep getting better at it and being more consistent, maybe even putting out more than one video a day. But make Teslas not tweets, amazing shirts, organic cotton. If you buy one, it helps the show. And also, the responses I've gotten about them are really cool. It strikes up really cool conversation. BitcoinDailyView.com. That's where you'll find links to all this stuff. Hey, thank you for being part of the peaceful revolution. You are part of the peaceful revolution. In fact, more than being part of the peaceful revolution, you are the peaceful revolution. Bitcoin matters. Crypto does really, really matter. And remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit banker cries.